Ek hou nie van hom te sê 'n lorry nie. Dis 'n instrument. Hy's in 'n klas van sy eie. En al staan hy ook daar langs die ander voertuie, hy staan uit. Heeltemal.
Scania!
We've been eliminating all over the country, looking for the best drivers for this competition. The group of guys, we've got together an excellent group of guys with many years of experience, guys that can do it. Competition's wide open, anyone can win it. So we're looking forward to seeing who the winner is going to be. The guys have got team spirit, great jokers in between, everybody's loving it. It's a good experience for everyone.
Welcome to 2012 Scania driver competition. Guys, you are the cream of the crop. You were selected out of 1,600 Scania drivers out. Welcome here. You're driving a prime product. And therefore, I need a prime driver behind the steering wheel of that product you're driving. And I want you to be proud of that product you're driving. It's the best in the world. Use the opportunity here. You will be trained, you will be tested, and on Friday, 10 of you will go through to the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Gerotek South, a warm welcome to all of you. Our objective during this 3 days that will follow will be to give you knowledge, skills, and also try to influence your thinking patterns, your behavior, your attitude, so that you can become a better driver.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Gerotek. As Peter has mentioned, my name is Sibiwe Nziweni. On my left hand side, this young man, his name is Willie. On his next to him is Hannes. On the other side is also another Willie. I call him the young man. Then you've got it's Jeffrey, and then my Jakes. I also call Dave Mapuam as well, so there's a competition between the two.
Okay, this is the facility on which we will do the training. Those of you who might be here for the first time, you enter the facility with that road and you are in the facility over here. We are going to use a high-speed track or the oval track. That's where we will test your ability to drive in a fuel-efficient and a safe manner. Then we will use the mountainous handling track. That track is quite challenging for a driver. A lot of uphills, a lot of corners. You have to stop halfway up the hill. That one we will test your ability to drive in a defensive manner. Then we will use the skid pad and the long straight track. And on that we will test and teach you or train you on your ability to park, to maneuver a vehicle, and to handle a vehicle. That's the 3 exercises that we will use out there on the track. And then inside this room we will do first aid training. Tomorrow morning we will have a breathalyzer here. Okay? If you are over the limit, what's the limit for trucks? Truck and bike? 0. What? 0.03. If you are over the limit, you sit here at the lauper and wait until you are ready to continue.
I like training. I like educating people. The more people on our roads that are more trained, the safer our roads will be.
When it comes to safety on our roads, some of the important things that we might be neglecting is what is called the pre-trip inspection. The purpose of the pre-trip inspection, can somebody tell me why quickly? Yes, sir.
You check if my vehicle's in a roadworthy condition before going out on the road.
Yes. Fatigue, what do you understand about fatigue?
Tired and tired.
Okay. Tired.
Concentration.
You lose concentration. So it's also your responsibility as well as the companies to make sure that when you guys are going on long trips, make sure that you are well rested and fully rested. Okay guys, now we've come to that stage now of the day where we're going to run the test. And I'm going to hand over, guys. Yeah, I'll just read it through to you. Just hand over.
Right, my name's Dave. I'm privileged to be part of the Gerotek team. What we have here is a static exercise where the actual driver of the vehicle will inspect the vehicle before he goes on a journey in terms of legality and safeness, where he will check lights, licenses, brakes, condition of the vehicle in general, just to make sure that everything's safe and that he's going to get to his destination.
So I'm Steven Muzero from CDS. I undergo training for Scania until they formed our company to undergo some competition.
The weapons blade is alright, and also this side is alright. Then I check my headlights. All both are still right, and indicators are still right. Still right. No water in my oil tank, my air tanks. Then I think I'm happy now.
The general spirit of the competition, the mood was very high. And everybody wanted to come into the competition, but because of the elimination, that was very tough. Only the best are here now today.
My name is Peter Munisi from Limpopo, Great North Transport, Scania buses. I'm a driver instructor. I'm training drivers. So my 3 drivers, they are successful to come here and train the Scania training. So I wish them luck to win this competition.
First of all, to me it's important that you check your own personal safety and your space. So we talk about defensive driving, survival, alertness, and the main thing is about avoiding collisions or situations. Now when we talk about defensive driving and defensive driving principles, there are 5 pillars that form the ground base of that. We must search or scan the environment. We must identify any risk, any problem, any hazard, any potential danger that can come our way. Then you must decide on an action if that thing causes you to lose control or to do a sudden maneuver or an avoidance. You must execute the decision that you have made. You give us continuous running commentary, continuously talking to us, telling us which hazard you see. Point them out. What's your prediction? What is your decision if it comes into your way? So we want you continuously to talk to us. That will start with from seating position, safety, steering control, pedal control, clutch control, gear selection, scanning the environment. All of that is part of how we can improve to make sure we survive at the end of the day. We're going to drive a nice scenic track, which is 6 kilometers in length, and it might open your eyes to 4 or 5 times the normal size when you see some of the obstacles that we want you to drive. But in order to have a certain benchmark, there's a time limit to completing 1 lap, the 6 kilometers, and that is 20 minutes.
The value that we're getting out of this is brilliant. You know, there's a lot of learning taking place, and the sponsorship of Scania and road safety management. It's a real privilege to be part of this whole training competition setup.
La phambili unophawu ukukhombisa ukuthi uyashelela ashibilile.
I work with the same vehicle as you see behind me. I just did the terrain test, which is quite challenging. It brings out the best of tactics in a driver. We had the basic A53 test, like stopping on an incline and moving off, but then there's quite a few challenging tracks with a big vehicle like this, making sharp turns in steep inclines and declines. The competition is quite tough. I wish all of the guys the very best.
I think the drivers have learned a lot. When they go back, they are going to spread the gospel to other drivers there. I thank you for this training. It's very fantastic.
It's a splendid learning opportunity, meeting new guys, making new friends, seeing new tactics in different drivers. And I thank Scania and I thank Unitrans, my company I work for giving me this opportunity to come to Joburg and compete here.
In terms of lives, to me, if we can have, every year we can have the number of fatalities on our roads, we can do more.
These days it's a requirement for a professional driver to have a first aid, at least a first aid level 1.
The most important module in this course, that's why we're all here, is to know how to do CPR to the best of our ability. Okay, this is the whole purpose of this first aid, is CPR. No one can survive very long without oxygen. The heart can survive, or the human body can survive for 5 minutes without oxygen. Anything after 5 minutes, the cell starts to die, and then it's too late to reverse it. Let's focus on adult CPR. So adult CPR is going to consist of 15 compressions, this is the new law, and 2 ventilations. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is SABC. Remember SABC?
Yeah.
Like the channels SABC? SABC we're going to use as safety, airway, breathing and circulation. We're going to use it in our procedure, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to approach our patient. Okay, he's lying, he's unconscious. See if he's awake. Hi, ma'am, sir. I'm here to help you, sir. May I help you? May I help you? We take the pulse, we feel for pulse, to carry it and the bracheo, and we feel, look, listen, feel, there's nothing there. Can't hear anything breathing, and after you've listened, there's no pulse, there's no breathing, no heartbeat, nothing. We're going to start CPR. We lift gently up here,
Make sure it's secured. So we find the center of the sternum. Just find the two nipples, get them together. Place your one hand like this. Fingers lock it in. Alright. Now, about, I say 4 or 5 centimeters away from the patient. Lock your arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What this competition is doing is just to improve the skills of defensive driving. Because of what's happening on the road these days, they want to get the drivers to be better than what they already are.
We do a bit of training first before we actually evaluate the people. One of the big things that we are trying to achieve during this process is to have an attitude change, so that the guys can focus more. They are professional drivers and they must start and act professionally. And I think we're achieving that as far as this is concerned.
The guys who did defensive driving yesterday in the afternoon, you are group 4. You are going with Jakes.
All right, good morning everybody. I would like to just spark a bit of knowledge, as the previous said. That might just help you out there and might just understand your vehicle a little bit more as far as dynamics is concerned. Because very few people actually understand that and know what's happening underneath them when they drive a truck. Vehicle dynamics. In certain cases of an accident, the driver frantically tries to keep his vehicle in control. Because when a vehicle goes into a skid, is to remain calm. As difficult as it might sound, it's remain calm. Second one is, do not overreact. Because that's what most people do. When you drive your truck, it wants to go in a straight line. It wants to drive at a constant speed, or it wants to remain stationary. That's what it wants to do. It doesn't like to be accelerated, it doesn't like to be braked, and it doesn't like to be turned, cornered. Okay, those forces fight you, isn't that so? So anything that you do like that will upset the dynamics of the vehicle, or the balance of the vehicle. That's why when you turn, the whole thing starts to lean, because it wants to go straight. It doesn't want to turn. If you apply the brake, the whole thing does that, not so. It wants to go straight. It doesn't want to slow down. And when you accelerate, the whole thing picks up. Because it doesn't want to do that. It's fighting you with the braking force. Yeah. The moment I do that, I have to add these two forces together. And by adding them together, we look like that. So there, and I add that one together. And now can you see?
You have 50% of the force on each side.
That I am way outside my circle of grip. So, if I only applied the brakes up to that point, the tire wouldn't have locked, not so. If I only went through the corner at that rate, the tire wouldn't have locked. You would have been fine. But because I'm asking the two together and I'm applying the brakes, now the combination of those puts the tire right out of its circle of grip and it starts to slide and there you go, right off the road. All right, any question? Anything else, guys? Okay. I need you to write a quick test of all the hogwash I've been talking. What we're going to do at this specific exercise is here we're going to focus on average speed, on repeatability, and most important we're going to look at fuel consumption. We've got a preset route around the high-speed oval. We have got a bit of markers that we've set out and we want you to be at a certain speed when you get to that marker. Right, so you've got to judge your acceleration, you've got to judge it so that when you get to that marker, the first one for instance we will show you when we drive around now. The first one, when you get to that marker, you should be at 40 kilometers an hour. The idea is to have a nice constant acceleration that when you get to that point you are at 40 and not be at 40 and coast and coast and coast and get to it. There the braking technique is the important one. I don't want you to apply the brakes, get down to 40 and wait and let it coast to the point. The idea is to have a nice smooth brake until you get to that point and it should be spot on 40. Right, you're going to accelerate up to 80 again. Then once you get to the marker on the far side that you've already used, you are only going to use the exhaust brake or the retarder or so, no brake. So only the retarder or the exhaust brake, you've got to decide what you want to do. I need you to bring the speed right down to around about 20 kilometers an hour, where we're going to do a double lane change. Now remember, each time you do a lane change, you need to do what?
Indicate.
You need to indicate. All right. And as you slow down, we are going to drive the vehicles in manual mode only, not auto.
Keep holding, keep holding. Give me another gear there, please. That's it. Go for it. Keep going. Don't decelerate. Keep on accelerating. So don't get that habit of coasting.
So you've got to think about the gears as well. Right. You've got to select the right gear for the right situation. You all know that. Right. You will be penalized if you're not on the right gear and so forth. Then you can accelerate up again to 80 kilometers an hour. Again, when you get underneath that structure, you are going to apply the brakes from 80 and you're going to come to a dead stop with the front wheels as closely as possible to the cones. We will then take your time, we will take your fuel that you've used, and then we will give you a mark according to that. The datum time should be 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
Round the track.
Round the track. That is what you are aiming for. You wouldn't know the time because you don't have a stopwatch. I've got that. Right. So for every 5 seconds that you are longer than that, you will be penalized. For every 5 seconds that you are shorter than that, you will be penalized. That means you've accelerated too hard, so you've gained time. All right, so that's our darker tape. That's what we want to use. You should use around about 2.8 liters of fuel. Anything more than that, you will be penalized. Anything less than that, that means that, but that will show up on your time if you use less. But if you use less and the time is right, you've been an excellent driver. You will not be penalized for that. It's only if you use more fuel than that.
I'm taking my experience to my company to teach the drivers that's how to get fuel economy and precision driving and to be safe on our roads.
I'm always amazed to see that the most fluent driver makes or breaks who is going to be the best driver. So let's see, we're still not there. Tomorrow we will have the final and then we will eventually see. I've got my favorites, but unfortunately we cannot pick the favorites. We can only work what the trip computers on the truck and on the buses are telling us. So we can only work with statistics, but I've got a couple of favorites that I think will make it to the finals tomorrow.
In terms of the companies, if we can save 1 gallon of fuel a day, at the end of the day, the whole world, how many gallons of liters can we save? And in terms of money, how many billions of money can we save?
Thank you for Scania and Gerotek for giving us this opportunity to go forward in life.
And it's amazing that on the truck side that I've been operating, we got between a 20 and a 30% increase, and that's just over a distance of about 6.1 kilometers. Now that to me is very favorable, and the feedback that we got from the guys was excellent, that they didn't know it was actually so easy to attain a better fuel consumption than what they thought.
5 bus drivers and 5 truck drivers will go through to the final stages. And you will demonstrate to us out here on the track how it's done.
Good morning and welcome to Gerotek. I've got about 11 rules here with me, and I'll read them as follows. Contestants are to report to the registration area of the competition site at the times designated by the competition officials. I think already you guys have done that. It is the responsibility of the entrant to acquire sufficient knowledge of the sites.
What we would like to do is to give you a little bit of an explanation of exactly how this competition works. We started early on Wednesday morning with 30 drivers that has been selected by Scania throughout South Africa. These drivers started with a briefing session on how the competition work, and then straight after that we started with the training.
The RTMC is part of the Department of Transport. The Department of Transport are the law-making facility, Parliament, and the RTMC are the people to implement that law. Mr. Collins are going to his parts. Mr. Collins, you're most welcome.
So I'm saying there is a need, and I think Scania is teaching a lot of people that there is a need to work with people that are supposed to be implementing the law, because we don't make these laws. But I think we need companies like yours. Without that, we will never be able to even start to eke it out and survive. And I'd like to thank you, Scania, for this competition, for what is coming, the international competition, of course, and all the other things that you do as part of your corporate social investment or responsibility. But I think you have taken this road safety as part of business. And I would like to say, yeah, give them a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Much appreciated. Drivers, the moment you've all been waiting for the last 3 days. In no particular order. Nati?
I say thanks a million for Scania to upgrade us with this knowledge.
Anlu?
Just being nominated for the top 5. I just want to say thank you to Scania for the opportunity, and to Gerotek. I was full of nerves, you know, sitting behind the steering wheel. It was awesome. Thank you very much to everybody.
Hendrik? Frederick?
For me, it's an honor to be here. It was a tough competition, and it was nervous for me, but I made it through.
Last but certainly not least, gentlemen, watch out for this little guy. Jaco.
Yes! Thank you for Scania for the best held competition that I've been connected with. Zero. Thank you very much. All the best.
Yes, at Scania we have a passion for road safety. And the competition here is a small part of a global competition. And every second year, Scania run these competitions all over the world. Scania believe you can have the best truck in the world, which we believe we have. Do we? Good. You can have the best drivers in the world. And in South Africa, we believe we have the best truck drivers in Scania trucks. Is that correct? Good. Bus drivers as well. Good. The guys that's going through to the finals here now, in no particular order, Ephraim Matrubele. Come forward, please. Come forward. Rhino Niveau. Charles Leibron. Martin Garner. And Steven Stewart.
Besig op die Graublad met die evaluasies en die punteindeling vir die verskillende hindernisse van die drywer van die jaar.
With a steel ring obstacle, the driver's ability to estimate the position of his vehicle's wheels relative to certain obstacles on the road is tested. The driver should position the rings and the vehicle, that the rings are still movable. At the pit stop obstacle, the driver should be able to drive over the structure without his vehicle's wheels touching the sides. At the gate obstacle, the driver must be able to open the greater gate with the vehicle's left-hand bumper without touching the outer gate. The driver gets penalized for touching the outer gate. Next up in the track was the height and width obstacle. Here a driver's ability to estimate the height and width of his vehicle is tested. In real traffic situations, this ability is one of the most important aspects of a driver's skill, especially in situations where the vehicle has to be parked in narrow areas.
Spot on. No penalties. 100%. Both of them. Excellent, excellent, excellent one.
Mr. Natim Guni, will you please prepare yourself and get ready?
The gate obstacle is repeated for the right side of the vehicle. The same penalty applies. At the pins obstacle, the driver is expected to knock over the green pins without touching the red pins with any part of his vehicle. This must be done with the left bumper of his vehicle, and the driver gets penalized for knocking over any red pin.
Mr. Amanis is ready to rumble. We start counting the pins one by one. One green gone without a red. The next. The bullseye.
The driver has to position and align the center front point of his vehicle over the bullseye obstacle. He gets penalized for not being in the center after he brought his vehicle to standstill. Next up is the ball balance obstacle. Here a driver's ability to use clutch control of his vehicle is of paramount importance.
Endo is ready to rock and roll. 30 seconds and starting.
He must be able to land the small ball in a maximum time of 30 seconds in the second hole of the apparatus to conclude the exercise perfectly. The driver is expected to line the vehicle's fuel cap at a specific distance away from the fuel pump. In this case, a line means right opposite.
Thanks,
I'm calling on Ms. Road Safety. Please come and talk.
Just want to congratulate the people here at Scania as well for emphasizing safety, putting safety first. So thank you for hosting this event as well. I'm really honored to be here and privileged to be a part of this. Also to Pick and Pay for their Stay Alert, Stay Alive campaign.
Thank you very much for being here today, and Pick and Pay will be part of this competition. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Warm greetings from the Pick and Pay family. What is more central today and what is more important to Pick and Pay is stay alert and stay alive. On behalf of Pick and Pay, I would like to thank Scania, our partners in the whole exercise, Avis, for being part of this process. When one sees such skillful drivers, doing their thing here, it really excites you. And I think Scania has to be applauded for doing that.
The moment of truth is here. I'm going to announce the winners. We are going to look at third, second, and first place, and then later on we'll do the rest. In third place, bus, Jaco Potrita. Jaco's score, and that is out of 500, is 382.97. 382. And the second bus, Hanlu de Villiers. First place, bus. Driver competition, Scania 2012, Gerotek. What else can I put to stretch it a bit? At a score of 386.61. Frederick Amans.
Party! Being smart. I'm a smart shopper. Party! Clicking more and more.
Okay. Whoa. Tell the people, how do you do it?
If you don't think smart, be smart. Because I'm a smart shopper. Stay alert, stay alive.
We have 2 more prizes in the bus division. We have decided to give a prize to the 4th and 5th position as well. I'm calling on Nati and I'm talking on Hendrik. Please come forward. There's a prize for both of you.
Yes.
In case the truck prize, we haven't won anything so far. The first prize is 25,000 Rand and Pick n Pay shopping vouchers. And the 4th and the 5th prize is 10,000 Rand. So, now for the truck guys. First place, truck driver, Ebrahim, at a score of 291 out of a possible 500. Then, do you mind to tell us a bit about this gentleman? Yeah. He's a very special gentleman and we're here now. And I want the trainer himself to say that.
Well, he was a wild card. He's never driven a Scania until this competition. For the first time of his life, he climbed into a Scania on Wednesday morning. And he's very welcome into the Scania family. He's from a private person, the only one who doesn't work for a company. But we've thrown him into the mix to just make it a little bit more interesting. And he came out quite well. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done. The prize is on your way. In second place, truck is a score of 311.46, Steven Struble. First place, trucks. Rhino Niveau. With a score of 320.66.
Wow, congrats. Thank you.
Okay. In fourth place, Martin Barner. And in fifth place, Charles Labra. I'm calling on Annabelle Fourie. I've met her here this morning. She was very shy. We said, don't worry, please. Avis have sponsored the 2 drivers that have improved the most since starting of this competition on Wednesday. A prize of a 3-day Group B car rental sponsored by Avis. And you can get it from any Avis branch in the country. How's that? Give them a big hand. Avis, thank you very much. Well appreciated. Thank you for your bus that's in this competition and you 2 drivers that have participated in this competition. Well done. Now the 2 drivers on the truck strand is Abraham Steenkamp. Well done. Best improved bus driver, Sakani. Patrick. Okay, all the other people, the other participants that haven't won anything and wasn't in the finals, we have each got a certificate for you, so please come here. And we're looking forward to the next one, which is from the 8th to the 10th of August at Sun City, the International one. Anybody who wants to pay us a visit during that time, you're more than welcome. Thank you very, very much for a wonderful day. Thank you.
Die tweede plek gekry vandag. Ons gaan mik vir die eerste plek volgende jaar, maar dit was 'n great experience geweest hierso. Ons het baie geleer, nuwe vriende ontmoet. Lekker gekuier en ek kon dit nie gedoen het sonder Annabelle by my sy nie. Sy was 'n great ondersteuning vir ons almal, nie net vir my nie. So ons fotograaf, mascot, you name it. So ons hoop ons sien weer almal hierso volgende jaar. Baie dankie.
And I'm the winner of the trucking division. The experience has been absolutely phenomenal. You can't describe the experience you pick up, the friends you make, the people you meet is absolutely unbelievable. And the message I want to carry over to all you guys out there is do what you do and do it at the most best you can. Buckle up and arrive alive, and remember, this is not just a chance everybody gets in life. So this is much appreciated. My thanks to Scania for this competition, for the opportunity, and especially to my company I work for, Unitrans Fuels and Chemicals in Cape Town, for letting me be here. It's absolutely a great feeling. Thanks.
I'm Frederick Hermanus from Hilton Ross in Cape Town, and I've just become the driver of the year in Scania for the bus division. For me, it's a great pleasure to have shown what I did. I've learned a lot, as I said before, and also I'd like to thank Scania, Gerotek, Pick n Pay, and Avis for this great prizes they've been giving us and this great opportunity. So all I can tell everybody is to keep safe, stay on the left-hand side of the road, please buckle up, and don't risk it. Thank you.